Not every toxic relationship looks like a soap opera with screaming matches and slammed doors. Some of the most harmful behaviors are subtle, so subtle that you might not even realize they're happening. Today, we're diving into 7 silent signs of a toxic relationship, the ones most people miss, but can quietly destroy your emotional well-being. If you've ever questioned the health of your relationship, you need to watch this. Sign 1. The disguised control. Toxic relationships often begin with what feels like caring or protective behavior. It might be your partner just wanting to know where you are, or helping you make better decisions. Over time, this transforms into subtle control. Do you find yourself justifying their behavior? Like thinking, they're only doing this because they care about me. Pay attention. Control disguised as love is still control, and it's one of the earliest signs of toxicity. But what happens when the control turns inward? Let's explore the second sign. Sign 2. You feel responsible for their emotions. In a toxic relationship, you might notice that your partner's mood dictates the entire dynamic. If they're upset, you scramble to fix it. If they're happy, you feel relieved. This isn't love. It's emotional manipulation. Healthy relationships allow space for both partners to own their feelings. If you're walking on eggshells, constantly trying to keep the peace, that's a red flag you can't ignore. Sign 3. Subtle put-downs disguised as jokes. Ever hear your partner make a joke at your expense and then follow it up with, "I was just kidding, don't be so sensitive"? Toxic partners often use humor as a shield for criticism, making you feel small while maintaining plausible deniability. If you frequently feel belittled or second-guess yourself after their jokes, it's time to take a closer look at their intentions. A loving partner builds you up. They don't erode your confidence under the guise of humor. But what if the toxicity isn't in their words, but in what they leave unsaid? Sign 4. Emotional withholding. Toxicity doesn't always show up in what someone does. It can also show up in what they don't do. Does your partner withhold affection, compliments, or even basic communication when they're upset? This silent treatment is a form of emotional control. It creates a power dynamic where they hold the cards, forcing you to chase their approval or attention. Love shouldn't feel like a game of emotional tug-of-war. Sign 5. You're losing your sense of self. A toxic relationship often consumes your identity. You might find yourself giving up hobbies, friends, or even values to accommodate your partner. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something just for you? If you're losing touch with the person you used to be, it's a sign that the relationship might be taking more than it's giving. What happens when this loss of self becomes your new normal? Let's move on to the next silent sign. Sign 6. Constantly defending your partner's behavior. Do your friends or family ever express concern about your relationship, only for you to brush it off with excuses like, they're just stressed, or you don't know them like I do? When you're in a toxic relationship, you often find yourself becoming their defense attorney. This constant need to justify their actions isn't just exhausting, it's a sign that something deeper is wrong. Healthy relationships don't require you to explain away bad behavior. Sign 7. An uneasy gut feeling. Sometimes the most powerful red flag isn't something you can put into words. It's a feeling deep in your gut. Do you feel more drained than energized after spending time with your partner? Does something just feel off? Your intuition is often more accurate than you think. If your gut is telling you something's wrong, don't ignore it. Toxic relationships thrive in silence, but your instincts can guide you toward the truth. But how do you move forward once you recognize these signs? Let's talk about taking the next step. Recognizing the silent signs of a toxic relationship is the first step toward reclaiming your happiness. Remember, love should uplift you, not weigh you down. If you see these red flags in your relationship, it's time to have an honest conversation with yourself and possibly with your partner. Healing starts with awareness, but it also requires action. Whether that's seeking support, setting boundaries, or even walking away, Know that you deserve a relationship that nourishes your soul. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the psychology of desire. If this video resonated with you, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into relationships and human behavior. Remember, the healthiest relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself.